The Porsche Mission R, it just got released by iRacing, and I figured I would give you guys my thoughts on that car. In the past, I've never really been a fan of electric cars, but over time, I've been trying to give the actual EV scene a little bit more of my attention and not be so critical of them, but actually give them a chance. And I'll just give you a little short backstory. My favorite car of all time is a Mach 4 Toyota Supra, preferably a 2001 VVTi right-hand drive one, because it, like I said, it comes with the VVTi. I'm 33 years old right now. I feel like I'm running out of time before I can get one, before they outlaw all combustible motor cars from driving on the road. So I feel like I'm in a rush right now to actually get a Toyota Supra. So when they push these EV cars, in my mind I'm like, oh, I gotta get my Supra before they outlaw it. But nonetheless, that's kind of a little bit of my backstory of why I used to hate EV cars, but they're kind of growing on me. I hope that there still is a place in the future for combustible motor cars, because I don't want to just get rid of them altogether, because I feel like I don't think that you can replace the smell of gas and stuff like that, even though it is harmful to the environment. We're not going to sugarcoat that, but it's still something about pressing the accelerator and filling the gas push you forward. Nonetheless, the Porsche Mission R. When I first got into it, I was a little skeptical of it, but as soon as you press the accelerator, it's instant power. The acceleration is quick, just like you would expect from a electric car. The acceleration is extremely quick. One thing that will come to your mind automatically or immediately is the fact that there is no gear shifts. There's no gears, so when you're going down the straight going into Eau Rouge and at Spa, don't look to shift, because it's not going to happen. But the first thing we'll talk about is the performance side of it. It's really quick. On the straight, it's really quick. Coming out of a turn, I feel like it's faster than I thought. The Porsche Mission R, it handles fairly okay, and the reason why I say it handles fairly okay is for the simple fact that it's a lot of understeer, a whole lot of understeer. I'm pretty sure that there are some changes that you can make within the garage to actually, counter this oversteer or understeer, but there's a whole lot of understeer, and that is the only gripe that I actually have with the car. Sorry to fast forward to the end, right? But that's the only gripe that I have with the car. But performance-wise or power-wise, I wouldn't say motor-wise, because they're, anyways. But the car is really, really fast. I like the acceleration. I like the explosiveness. There's not a lot of wheel spin coming out of a turn. That's one thing I was realizing. Driving the car, I really feel like you could just come out of a turn and just get on the gas as hard as you want. I feel like you could throw it around, well, as good as you want to. I mean, considering the fact that there's a whole bunch of understeer. But outside of the understeer part, I feel like you can just throw it around and just put your foot on the gas, and it's not that much wheel spin. There's a little wheel spin, but not that much wheel spin. But overall, power-wise, it's pretty good. Handling-wise, like I just said, there's a lot of understeer. I'm pretty sure there's some changes that you can do within the garage screen or iRacing to counter that understeer. But outside of that, I think it's pretty good. Brakes I feel like are pretty balanced. It does brake it brakes like a GT4 car. It brakes in between a GT4 car and a GT3 car. I feel like it brakes a lot better than the GT4s, like the Honda Civic or the GT4 cars any other GT4 cars that they have on iRacing. But overall, I feel like it brakes pretty good. I don't have any complaints when it comes to braking. Drivability. The car handles pretty good outside of the understeer. I'll say that again. It just shows you how much I hate the understeer. But the car handles pretty good. I think it would be a pretty fun car to drive in a race. I didn't actually get to race, race the car. All I did was just turn a couple laps at Spa. But outside of that, I feel like the car is pretty good to race, and I look forward to actually competing into a few races within the car itself. Noise. So a lot of people complain about the noise of electric cars, and I understand it is very annoying at some points. But one thing you have to take into consideration: compare a regular GT3 Porsche that's on iRacing, or a Assetto Corsa for that matter, right? and then compare it to the EV Porsche Mission R. You tell me if there's a difference outside of the, noticeable combustible motor noise on iRacing and Assetto Corsa, but there's that transmission whine that you normally hear on a Porsche, right? It's like hearing that all the time when you're on the EV car. That's the only problem. But outside of that, it's not that unbearable to me, to be honest with you. The EV, whine noise is not that hard to really get through. I think it's really not that hard. Overall, I like the car. Overall, I give the car a 8 out of 10. And the reason, hold on. I take that back. I give the car a 7 out of 10. And the reason why I give it a 7 out of 10 is because, number one, I'm not that knowledgeable in the car. So I don't want to give it an 8 out of 10 or a 9 or 8 or a 9 or a 10 out of 10 because of the simple fact that I'm not really judging it off of expertise. I'm judging it off of my small Lego of knowledge on EV cars. But overall, I like the car. I give it a 7 out of 10. If you can fix the understeer, then you have a great car on your hands, and you have an enjoyable car. You have a very fun car. It seems like it'll be a very fun car to drive competition-wise. But outside of that, I like the car, and I plan on driving that car a lot more. And I actually applaud iRacing for taking the chance and actually putting that car out there because you knew that there was going to be a bunch of haters. And I'm not going to lie, I probably was one of those haters underneath in my heart. But like a lot of things in life, you got to accept what it is, move forward, and make the best of it. Because the truth of the matter is, there was always people that were against ATMs because that was just going to take away jobs from bank tellers. And it did. There were people that were against toll tags and automatic toll systems on the road because it was going to take away jobs from toll booth associates. And it did. But it's always going to be like that, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, there's going to be no use for security guards at Walmart because they're going to have those little big-ass vending machines walking around pulling guns and stun guns on you, telling you to put that Starburst back or pay for it or else. That type of stuff. But, it's inevitable. You can't do anything about it. Let's just hope that they don't do away completely with combustible motor cars because you and I both know I have to have my Supra. If I don't get my Supra, it's going to be a problem. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight or today, whatever time this is uploaded. I appreciate you guys joining me.